So next was and I'm sorry, folks, if you're waiting for a rap, you ain't gonna get it. The Acclaimed and the Guns make their entrance, and right as Caster gets started, yo, listen! The Guns steal his microphone, because now they're mad at each other. And we had a match where the Acclaimed and the Guns were in an 8-man tag against Fago del Sol. Leon Ruffin showed up. The world's thinnest man.
And his name is Ruffin. His name was Leon Ruffin. You used to call him Leon Ruffin because you said, oh, he must be like David Ruffin. And his name is Leon Ruffin. Look at that.
Well, there you go. See? Who says I'm fucking wrong about anything ever? And Bear Country. And so Bowens is back wrestling. They got absolutely nothing out of him being in a wheelchair all that time. He gets up out of the wheelchair and shows he can walk and then fucks his team up and they lose and now he's wrestling the next week. So they did that for absolutely fucking nothing. And now the wheelchair's ruined. Fucking idiots. So they have a 2-minute match. Caster goes up to the top rope. Colton Gunn tagged Max Caster's foot while Caster was standing on the top rope.
I don't blame him. I blame the referee.
Well, but I blame all of them. I blame the company and I blame the agent, whoever produced that fucking fiasco, because they had obviously told the announcers the finish, that Colton is going to force a tag to Caster and steal his victory. But they didn't tell him exactly how, so when they saw it, Taz had to say, well, that looked like a tag, and Jim Ross actually had to say, well, that looks like a tag to me, because elsewise the finish would have been inexplicable. So people that knew that it wasn't a tag, that it had no business being a tag because they knew that was the finish and they weren't going to stop and do it right, had to call it that way and look stupid to make the people understand it. So then Caster dropped the elbow off the top, but Colton had tagged and covered 1, 2, 3. And then the teams get in a fight, and Billy picks his boys off of him, throws them down, and then clotheslined the shit out of, I think, Caster. And okay, that got the people going. The fans, they didn't expect it. They thought Billy was going to swerve them and go with the Acclaimed or whatever. But they've got a little heat, and they've got people interested. And then Bowens comes up to Billy on his knees and sticks his fingers out, like asking Billy to scissor him. And they took it back to comedy. And, of course, Billy fucking drops him, too. But after you've just clotheslined your partner, is he going to sit there and go, scissor me? Or is he going to go, what the fuck are you doing? So they have to inject comedy into that, even with a fucking obvious, plain, simple angle like this.
Yeah, I hated that part of it. I hated that part, the scissor me part at the very end, because it's preposterous that Bowens would be thinking to do that at that moment. And I hate seeing Caster on the mat that long after he gets attacked.
Well, yeah, one clothesline, and he was in a fucking medically induced coma. I know Billy's stiff. Shit, but he shakes hands with you, he leaves bruises, but still.
The Acclaimed are another one of these organic AEW wrestling, I was about to say accent, I didn't want to get you upset.
Don't do that.
Wrestling performers.
Actually, I don't even like that. I like gimmicks would be fine.
They got over on their own. The fans are into them on their own. They were heels. They were so good at that now fans had to start cheering them because they're so clever you can't boo them. I just hope these are two guys that I also think about, Bowens and Caster. If they can stay healthy, don't mess them up. I know they don't do all the flips, but because of their personality and how over they are, they have as much potential as any tag team in that division right now. And I'd rather them not do the flips and stuff. I'd rather them work with FTR. I'd rather them work with Billy Gunn and his kids. Those matches will be better. And I think the Acclaimed, again, an organic AEW troupe that people have taken to and we've come to enjoy. I have. I hope they really do so. And the Guns are great. You've convinced me of that. And the more I've seen them, they're great. And I didn't know what Billy Gunn was going to do. And Billy Gunn seems into this too. So we'll see where they go. But it could have been done quicker.
Yeah, it could have got there quicker. Well, speaking of quicker, we're going to save some time here. The next match was Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm, the team of Thunderstorm, going against Nyla Rose and Marina Schaefer, the team of We Suck. And I skipped over that. Rick Knox, again, the referee, he is so pale, he's translucent. He looks like one of the fucking mysterious heels from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You could read a newspaper through his fucking skin. How can he be healthy? I can see his fucking veins shooting blood, such as it is, to various parts of his body. He's so pale and thin and corpse-like.
I heard he was just honored.
By what? By who?
By Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, celebrating their, I think, 19-year anniversary. He's been there since the very beginning. Of course, Excalibur, one of the founders of the company, along with his buddy Joey Ryan. And Rick Knox, there from the very beginning. And they wanted to honor him for one of the worst bodies of work we've ever seen from a referee, I guess we could say, on the indies and on the major stage.
Ever. Yeah, I think ever. Ever takes it into account.
Jim Ross made some comment about him, though. Do you know what it was? Because I skipped the match, too. And I think this is part of the problem with one day people are going to have to come to terms with the idea that maybe people don't want a women's division. But Jim Ross made some comment about Rick Knox. Did you see that?
I honestly, I skipped this, so I would have loved to have heard it. That would have made the match worth watching.
All right, apparently he made some sort of comment, and again, we missed it, but it was the one moment he wasn't happy. An hour or two.
Well, how can you be? How can you be with that? But anyway, yeah, Rick Knox. Well, I thought you meant he was honored by like the Red Cross for setting a record for giving the most blood all at the same time.